everybody, it's Christine. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do my Around the World in 52 Books check-in, sort of. I've already read 40 and I need 12 more, so these are the 12 books I need to read by the end of the year. And their categories. I'm not going to go over the categories that I've already completed or the books I read for them. If you want to see that, I'll post my link for all the books that I've read for the challenge down below. So you can go and see which books I read for what. So the first one that I need is number 6, the highest rated on your TBR. This is kind of funny because I would never have expected one of these to be my highest rating. It's rated a 5. But the funny thing is there's only been one rating on it and somebody rated it a 5. So it is my highest rated on my TBR. So it's Borrowed Baby by Leslie Davis Gutcheon. It's a silhouette harlequin, one of those books where this guy is a journalist and he goes out to prove that a woman will fall for anybody with a baby. And then the next one is number 8, a classic book with less than 200 pages. I chose F. Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby. I've never read it. I've never seen the movie. So I figured I'd pick it up. I know there's a lot of love-hate relationships with this. People love to hate. I think Daisy is the girl that they hate. We'll see. Then the next one is number 9, a book that was mentioned in another book. I do not know what book this was mentioned in. So I just know it. I went through their recommended list. And this was on the list of books that were mentioned. And it's the Autobiography of Malcolm X, as told to Alex Haley. I don't know too much about Malcolm X's life, so it's a great read. I hope. But it'll probably take a little while because it's small print, very small print. So yeah. Then this one is the one I'm actually looking forward to, and it's 12, a childhood classic. When I was growing up, there were 2 books that I loved, Charlotte's Web being one, and I didn't feel like reading that one because I cry every time. But I also loved Pippi Longstocking by Astrid Lindgren, and everybody I think knows what Pippi Longstocking is. It's about a girl whose father is a sailor and he leaves her alone to live at home. Well, she's 8, and she's got a horse and a monkey, and yeah. It's hilarious. I loved this book growing up, so I wanted to check in with it again. And the next one is number 15, a book set in the past more than 100 years ago, and I just picked one of my historical romance books, and it's the Dutiful Rake by Elizabeth Rolls. It's set in the Regency era. I don't know much about it. The bad boy meets the good girl sort of deal. And then Becky from Becky Ford will probably love me for this one. But it is a book from the top 100 mystery novels. And again, I went to the list of mystery novels because I didn't realize this was a mystery novel. And correct me if I'm wrong. But it's Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I'm finally getting to a Daphne du Maurier book. And I was with my mom when I picked it up. And she was just, oh, I haven't read her since I was a kid. So, yeah. I just know it's about a woman who marries a man, and I think Rebecca was the wife that died, if I'm not mistaken, and yeah, so I'm not sure, but again, correct me if I'm wrong. Then, and this is also one I'm really looking forward to, and it is the book that number 26, a book everyone is talking about, and I haven't even hauled this because I just picked it up an hour ago, and it's Gemena by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. It is so pretty. Yeah, I couldn't resist going in and buying it. I love the first one. So, if by any chance that they're watching, the third book, I think it's supposed to be a trilogy, but the third book in purple would be perfect. So yeah, that one I'm going to be reading, and that'll take me like all of a day and a half to read, maybe, if not less, if I sit down and try my best. The next one is a book by an author who writes under more than one name. Did I miss one? No. And that is Nora Roberts as J.D. Robb, Naked in Death. It's the first in her In Death series that I've never read, so I figured I'd try it out. So yeah, she writes as Nora Roberts for her romance and J.D. Robb for her crime suspense. And then the next one, I have to borrow it from the library when it comes in because on ebook form, and you know how I hate ebooks. But it is the 16th book on your TBR, which is Ruby Red by Kirsten Gier. Yeah, it irks me to read, but I will when I have to. So, and that is for number 33. Oh, I missed one. Number 30. A fairy tale from a culture other than your own. That would be Arabian Nights, illustrated by Renee Bull. I had a hard time. I had to go to list for this one, and like, duh, I just hauled it. So, Arabian Nights. And then the 37, a book that you've seen the movie for but haven't read. I've seen this movie when it first came out and never again. But it's Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk, and I have it on hold at the library. I forgot to grab it this morning because I was in a rush to do a bunch of things, and I forgot to pick it up. So my final one is 44, a book that you're embarrassed to read in public. And I'm not so much embarrassed to read anything in public. I read everything, anything and everything. But I don't want the backlash, and I don't want the headache and the questions and the judgment. So not so much embarrassment, but it is controversial. There's the word. And it's Grey by E.L. James. I've read the trilogy, so I figured I'd read his perspective book. And everybody knows what that is. I'm not even going to go into it. So let me know if you've done this challenge, if you've completed it, if you are just putting it off. I will be doing this again next year. But what I did this year was when I read a book, if it fit a category, then I put it down. So I figured now that it's almost November, I went through it and discovered there was 12 more that I needed to read. So those are my 12 that I still need to read, among many, many, many others. Yeah. So, bad talking today. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.